Welcome back. Last time we completed Sonic's classic era and found a boss gate, which requires 3 keys to open. Well, we unlocked challenge acts for each zone. Modern Sonic has his own set, classic Sonic has his own. There are 5 per zone. We only need to complete 1 challenge gate to unlock the boss key. Well, let's get things started with Green Hill Act 1, Challenge 1, Doppelganger Race. Every zone in this game has its own Doppelganger challenge act, which is just going through the stage again, except this time racing a ghost of Sonic, a shadowy figure. These ones are strictly based on time for getting the S rank. Even if you were to die at a checkpoint and respawn, you could still get the S rank as long as you beat this in under 1 minute and 20 seconds. You can compare your progress to your doppelgangers at the top of the screen up there. If you've been going for the S ranks this whole time, then your doppelganger should not stand a chance at all. They're not going for the S rank time. I should mention that during these challenge acts, I've already played them and got the S ranks and edited them together, and now I am commentating over them after the fact, which is kind of odd watching my own gameplay without pressing any buttons. After completing every challenge act, you'll unlock the bell above the portal. If you collect this little musical note, you'll collect usually artwork or music, maybe always. There's our boss key. That's all we needed to do in this area. You only need to do 1 challenge act, but we will complete all 5, including this type where the levels are just swarming with some specific enemy type. If you collect these clocks lying around the levels, you can reduce time on your timer. A blue one will take off 5 seconds, a yellow one takes off 10. Okay. I was trying to go up with those buzz bombers, but it doesn't look like that worked. We don't even need to defeat a certain amount of these buzz bombers or anything. We're just getting to the end in under a minute. I'm not sure how much time that red clock would have saved us. Maybe like 15 or 20. Who knows? Some of these challenges can be better than others. Some of them can feel like they were thrown together in Mario Maker or something. Maybe add a bunch of these swing sets. Look, there's a clock right at the beginning of the stage. I'm sure there's a faster way I could be getting through this. A well-timed spin dash would probably just launch you over all of these moto bugs. If you see an arrow made of rings, it's generally a good idea to follow them. Press this button and activate the swings. I see a yellow clock up there, but I didn't get that, I don't think. I even slip around and mess up a little bit. You can still get the S ranks pretty easily. Some of these challenge acts can be more difficult than the regular stages, or I just spin dash and make myself fall behind a little. Well, that one's not too bad. Just ride some swings. Very nice. Sometimes you get these challenges based on a particular item box. Speed sneakers. Let's see if we can run through some section of Green Hill while moving very quickly. Probably. Oh, and there I go, jumping when I shouldn't. And again, sometimes you can jump into a good position, sometimes you just jump completely off of the path. You know Sonic Generations on the Nintendo 3DS? This part reminds me of that. I don't know why this part specifically. Maybe because we see those little totem poles. Those were pretty prominent in the 3DS version. And every zone for classic and modern Sonic has a stage where you do a mission with Sonic's friend. In this case, it is Knuckles. He's not really doing much of anything. He's just digging around, taking shortcuts throughout the stage. We don't interact with him at all. So basically it's not that much different than the Doppelganger races, except now we have giant badniks for some reason. You're supposed to bounce off of them, but sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes you just get stuck on this loopy-loop or over there. That's okay. I guess this was my S rank run, otherwise I would not have left it in here. And I do remember having quite a few bad runs on this one. Sometimes it's my fault, sometimes it's just a little janky. And I bounced off the badniks in a way I didn't expect. There we go. That is all of Classic Sonic's challenge acts. And with that, we can't really see it on screen. Oh, there we go. We restored some of the color to Green Hill Zone. We are going to need to complete modern Sonic's challenge acts to restore the rest of the color, starting with Lookout Below, a challenge focused on collapsible floors. I don't really like that because I stomp a lot with modern Sonic in my gameplay. And if you stomp on a collapsible floor, you'll fall right through it. Quite a few of these modern Sonic challenges are going to be 2D, gimmicky challenges. Not usually the type of gameplay I'm really into. Usually I just want a straightforward platforming challenge with no gimmicks. I can hear the goal. Luckily, when you see the time for an S rank is only 1 minute and 10 seconds, you can safely bet that it shouldn't take you that long to complete. Here is our Act 2 Doppelganger race. We are just playing Green Hill Zone again. You may have noticed that we do not get to use our skills we got from Omochao during challenges, which, if you are deciding to do every challenge for whatever reason, then probably most of your gameplay will be coming from these. And it's kind of jarring to go from having your full skill set equipped in normal gameplay and then going to these challenge acts with a dinky little boost gauge and losing some other nifty tricks we'll get with classic Sonic as well. I remember this happened. Very odd. I think I tried to drift in that little tunnel. I also just like to drift as Modern Sonic, and that can also cause a lot of jankiness. It's just fun and sounds funny. This is definitely my favorite control we've ever had for Boost Sonic in both 2D and 3D. Maybe aside from his air dash he does. I miss his double jump from Colors, but Colors was a much slower game. And in that game, the double jump could randomly send you flying off in directions you didn't want. But that's okay, I kind of just expect some weird controls going on in a Sonic game. I like that Sonic rolls into this little ball. I miss the spin dash. Just about 4 seconds to spare for the S rank. Not bad, I guess. Okay, and now we have Jump Rush. Use jump panels. I would probably call these like ramps or something, but you do jump on them. This one can have some weird physics with all of these jump panels around. Look, we're in Green Hill Zone, but they just added stuff. See, that's the Mario Maker feel I'm talking about. You never know if there's gonna be fire bars added in, or jump panels, or maybe a little section of copy-paste wall designs. Very cool. You never know what you'll get. Oh, whoops. Who's playing this? You know, doing these all in a row, you really start to notice that they like that 2D section there a lot. Yet again, about 4 seconds to spare for that S rank. Let's see if we can do it again. In a 300% boost gauge challenge. Look at how big that boost bar is. If we can complete this challenge using this skill, we can unlock the ability to buy that skill from Omochao at his shop. This is definitely a skill I like to use a lot. Why would you not want to have a big, long, juicy boost gauge? Watch out for those spike bars. Wow, look at that. Hey, I remember seeing a segment like that in Shadow Generations, and you can use Chaos Control to stop the platforms from moving. Alright, they put the gold ring right there, cut the level short. Got that one by about 12 seconds. Now we can buy that skill if we'd like. And time for Modern Sonic's Buddy level.
It's a race to the finish.
Racing Tails. Just like classic Sonic's mission with Knuckles, we don't really interact with Tails at all. He's just flying around, making progress through the stage. As we can see on the progress bar on the top of the screen. This kind of reminds me of Tails' story in Sonic Adventure 1, where every one of his missions was just racing somebody to the end of the stage. Except this time, Tails is the one we are racing to the end of the stage. You've really grown up, little buddy. Awful lot of boost rings to send us into this one. And with that, we officially have every single Green Hill Zone challenge act completed. And we have fully restored color to Green Hill Zone. It is still a blank white void, but at least these Green Hill level assets have color to them now. Real cool. And now for the Chemical Plant Challenge Act. Act 1. Looks like we're starting with the Doppelganger race. So we are just playing Chemical Plant again. Maybe we'll take different pathways. Yeah, I don't think we took this upper path last time. I'm not sure how different it is up here. I know in Sonic Mania you can jump over one of those springs in that spring section and get a special stage. There are no special stages in this game. We will get our Chaos Emeralds in one way or another. In Sonic Generations for the Nintendo 3DS, you can play special stages. Look at that Doppelganger. Are there checkpoints at every blue line on the progress bar? No, I guess not. I did not get a checkpoint there. I'm not sure what those yellow segments mean. Not a whole lot, I guess. Now we have an invincibility challenge, just like the Green Hill Speed Sneaker challenge. Now we need to get through this stage using invincibility. That doesn't sound too hard. They're going to make us walk on spikes. Every time you see the invincibility box, make sure you grab it. Then they have you go up this vertical tunnel just to slow you down. Maybe you'll get grabbed by grabby spiders to slow you down as well. Classic Sonic in this game doesn't really roll into a ball as gracefully as he does in the classic games. I always liked to use that as a way of attacking in those games, but it doesn't feel as reliable and you lose too much speed in this one. There's our key. Oh, here we go. This is an interesting mission. Aqua Shield. I always called it a bubble shield. In Sonic 3 and Knuckles makes you bounce, just like it does here. But in this game you are very floaty, as we can see. They've built this level around bouncing around with your Aqua Shield. I'll probably call it a bubble shield. You can tell regular levels were not built with this in mind, but after we finish this challenge, we'll be able to equip this as a skill. We'll be able to press the triangle button to activate it at any time we'd like in a regular stage. They knew how much air you got for using this. They specifically made you need that much air to get over some of these obstacles. Which switch is which? This sounds like it would be a multiple switch puzzle type of mission, but it really isn't as far as I remember. We just press switches and activate moving blocks or get rid of a blue wall. You basically have to press the switch anyway, either to move forward with these blocks or get rid of a force field. I'm sure some of these places have ways you could easily jump over with a spin dash. We probably did something like that at the beginning. It looked like we flew over a lot of level. I remember a more annoying version of this type of mission later, where you can't really just blindly run through and press every button you see. And when you see a 2-minute and 40-second timer up there, you know you're in it for the long haul, or at least a little longer haul. There's probably going to be some longer time limits later. I probably didn't need to do all of that. I didn't look all the way over here. Well, there's the goal. That was fine. And now our buddy mission, Tails Toxic Skies. This one's pretty fun.
Just press the button to calm.
Did you play Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Because this one is a reference to that. you can use Tails to carry you through parts of the level. This is better than the Green Hill buddy missions, where we were basically just racing Knuckles and modern Tails to the end of the stage. Hey, it's okay if you fall on the spikes sometimes, because you only need one ring to survive. I guess I didn't want that clock. We have 2 minutes, we'll be fine.
Here goes.
Did you play Sonic Rush games and Sonic Colors DS and Sonic 4? In those games, when you get hit, every time you get hit, I think your rings go flying even farther than they did the time previous.
You can count on
Maybe in that game it would be annoying to get hit and pick up your rings again. Wow, look at those speed rings. They remind me again of Sonic Adventure. Tails missions. And maybe a little bit of Mario Maker. But that was pretty fun. I liked those, well, that little buddy mission. And we've restored some of the color to Chemical Plant. Very good. And we'll deal with Metal Sonic later. Starting off Modern Sonics, Chemical Plant with a weird one. Underwater Ring Machine. We will have a weird flying pot enemy dropping a bunch of rings and sometimes spike balls. We just need to make sure we're holding 100 rings when we cross the goal. You could decide if you think it's worth collecting the rings early in the stage or later. If you collect them this early, you are at risk of dropping them and needing to pick up more. I don't think you actually lose all of your rings when you get hit. Oh, there we go. We got hit and survived with 23 rings. Already back into the 70s. Not too bad to pick up enough rings. Look, oh. I didn't even realize the goal was going to be there. It just tosses you right up into there on a spring. Look at that. Next we have another one of these stages just swarming with an enemy. This time it is grabby spiders. If you get grabbed by spiders, you can just mash your left and right on your D-pad or wiggle your stick left and right. If I'm doing a 2D section, I always just naturally move from the stick to the D-pad and vice versa. Though most of these, even modern Sonic challenges, are strictly 2D. I doubt we're going to be seeing any 3D in this one. You ever just mess up in the same way multiple times in a row? That's okay. This is my S rank run. Otherwise I would have tried again. There we go, with plenty of time to spare as well. some of these are much more difficult than the others. Here's a simple one, a one-ring challenge. Of course, we are not going to be doing any regular stage with a single ring. They're probably going to spam a lot of spike balls or something. Maybe those guys. I forget. Okay, we're technically in 3D in this section. It's the water slide that leads into the skydiving. I saw a few extra spike balls there. And you guys put a few extra blocks in that section. Why? What is up with that? Oh boy. Sometimes I like to stomp a lot in Modern Sonic's sections, and that makes me awkwardly slide when I don't mean to. We'll probably see that in action more throughout this. Here is our Doppelganger race. Well, there's 3D in this one, but of course that is because we are just replaying Chemical Plant Act 2. I think this is a different path than we were on the first time. Well, now I think we're back on the same path. What in the world? It's a good thing that shutter closed behind us. Otherwise, I was going straight back to the bottom path. If you boost on the chemicals in this level, you'll rise to the top if you're near it. Start running on the water. Oh boy, there's more jumping in action. I think I did the same thing in the actual playthrough of this stage. Well, things are clearly not going my way in that run, but it'll be an S rank. I did this like a few days ago at this point. It's so weird watching it over again. Well, we can see we are allowed to make quite a few mistakes and still get the S rank. Hey, look at that, I landed on that rail. Oh, and missed that ring. That's okay, see? 18 seconds to spare. I think now, yep, just our little buddy, Amy. This is another odd one. Almost as odd as all of that pop-in the background. We can time our triangle press, and Amy's hammer will send a shockwave, I guess. And if we're underwater when we use it, it is very stuttery looking. Hurts my eyes. This one is pretty easy. Just press triangle every time you're under some rings. Amy will show up and you can do a little timing mini game. It'll launch you up, you'll do it again. They try and make it a little trickier by putting those moving platforms there. You can see if you mess up, nothing really happens. You just try again. Is this our final challenge? Yep, there it is. They even give you a clock that you could pretty easily get if you want. It looked orange. Is that worth a separate amount than red? Alright, chemical plant back to its full color. It's beautiful. You get to pick to do the main stages in this game in either Act 1 or Act 2 order, depending on who you finish the stage with second. That's who you save these characters as.
You saved me, Sonic. I have always thought that you were cute, but did you get cuter?
Classic Sonic is very cute. Once you rescue a character and see that version of Sonic, save them, you can never rescue them as the other Sonic in that playthrough, so I figured I'd put those scenes right here. Egg Robo Rush. The Death Egg will be spitting out so many Egg Robos. Guess we're letting all of those guys live. Nothing really much to say about this one. Just play through a bit of Sky Sanctuary with so many Egg Robos. Are these moving bars in sets of 3 even in the actual stage? They must be on some path I don't usually go down. Make sure you look out for Egg Robo lasers and jump on a lot of these bars. There's a final clock if you want one too. Well, that one wasn't so bad. Doppelganger race. Let's replay Sky Sanctuary Act 1. Look, didn't you see that? The Doppelganger was just standing there at the beginning. He wasn't even playing. Oh, there he is. I think that final ring box was a speed shoe box in the actual stage. Well, that's what happens if you spin dash too far in that part. You go to some weird section with a collapsible floor. This is one of the more fun stages in the classic era to just spin dash around. It is kind of weird in this version of the game having the spin dash on R2 instead of circle. That is to try and unify the controls with shadow generations, I guess, with the boost being on R2 in that game. These would probably be more interesting if you needed to really figure out the faster pathways in order to get the S ranks, but sometimes it feels like I am playing much worse than the other ones. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it feels like I'm playing worse than in the actual stages. There's our boss key. Yep, looks like we're getting it now. All 3 boss keys. We are ready to open the boss gate, but look at that. We're going to do this one. What are we doing? Use warp pads. Yeah, this one's weird. This also feels like a Mario Maker stage. Warp through all the places. Except I don't even think we're guessing between any warp pads or anything. They just lead you directly to the next one, even if it's just a section of a stage. Yeah, see, they're just teleporting us between segments of the stage. It is cool that these challenge missions can take place at different times of day compared to the actual stage. It was neat seeing the death egg back there floating at night. Probably. Oh no, you cannot drop dash up that little incline because the drop dash is a skill for Classic Sonic and you cannot use skills. Look, poor Classic Sonic, he needs to interact with... Oh, never mind. He doesn't need to interact with 3D to get through that point. He can just spin dash over it. We can unlock the ring time ability. If you press triangle, you get some weird wobbly effect around Classic Sonic, and any enemies you get near turn into rings. We are using this ability to gather 80 rings. Just press triangle when you see enemies around. Looks like I got lost there for a second. That's okay. You can get lost sometimes if you want. You'll still get the S rank. We already have well over 80 rings. I probably just thought that was going to be a shortcut up there. There's probably not many shortcuts in this stage. Any alternate paths probably just lead to more rings. We only needed 80. That's a very simple requirement. Oh, barely made that by 0.9 seconds. Now we could go buy that ability if we like. Amy's Classic Sonic Buddy Mission. See? It's the spinning tops from Marble Garden Zone in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's basically just a race, except we need to be using these things to make any meaningful progress. If you are moving speedily, this will make forward momentum. If you stop moving, that thing will just drop. By that thing, I mean this spinning top, whatever this is. These things were very odd to figure out how to maneuver in the original Sonic 3 and Knuckles when I'm a kid. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was the first game I ever played, or at least can remember playing in my life. It came out the same year I was born, on the Sega Genesis. Very cool, I guess. Guess that's cool. Check it out, we filled in like some leaves on Sky Sanctuary. 200% boost challenge. Didn't we already do a mission that gave us 300% boost? And if I remember, I didn't even feel like I had many opportunities to use my boost in this stage. It's a 2D stage that for some reason has the return of those springs from Sky Rail and Sonic Adventure 2. They feel weird to use in a boost game. Sonic, you just got knocked off of that platform by a flamethrower. This is definitely not a path you're supposed to be on. That's okay. 6 seconds to spare. That's an S rank. That's all we need. Balloon Bonanza. Alright. We're going to jump on a bunch of balloons. Get some good air on those balloons too. They're just homing attack targets. This is a fun little mission. I like this one. If we're gonna have a little gimmick-based mission, I'd rather it be something fun and simple. We haven't seen any of the ones that take it a little too far. Look, it's just the regular stage, but with balloons. There's the goal. It's just the regular stage, but cut short. You need to press that button to get rid of the gray boxes. And now the gimmick was that the balloons send you upwards. And now here's one I hope you'll all enjoy. It's the Doppelganger race for Act 2. And here's some interesting news. If I remember correctly, I play much worse on this one compared to the actual story stage. Though that worst gameplay may have been in one of my A rank runs I was trying on this stage. I cut those ones out. Got shot by a rocket guy. Were those rocket guys there in the normal version? I don't think so. I don't remember them. I guess they probably were there. I don't think they would change anything that drastically in the Doppelganger race. Look, we're on the bottom path this time. Oh boy, things are not going well. that time I slipped through some cracks. Last time I got hit by a flame launcher. Look at that weird side path. I don't see that very often. I also tend to take that path when I do this stage. Sometimes you just go on the same paths you've memorized every time you play something. Look, somehow I saved 23 seconds on that checkpoint. Maybe something came up. Or maybe I just really played that badly. I think one of these times I'm going to miss that shortcut. I guess we'll see. Man, slipped off the edge of that. What happened last time? I just boosted through it. This time I was actually trying to go on that crumbled floor. Here we go, straight towards the death egg. Kind of. In the general direction. Wow, here's something unique. All of the enemies and obstacles move at double speed. Very cool. Ain't that something? And of course it is egg robos shooting their double speed laser guns. I don't even know what's going on up there. It looks like they're blocking off a laser gate. There's probably a button to press up there. You see that slowdown that just happened? Okay, now what is going on? Now it's just getting too crazy. Now it's like a Mario Maker stage again. I don't like this in my Sonic games. We gotta be nearing the end. We only have 1 minute and 30 seconds to succeed. We have 10 seconds left. There we go. Look, we're in 3D. There was a little bit of 3D in that stage. Here we go. Our final buddy mission of the classic era. They saved the worst for last. It is an homage to Knuckles' treasure hunting stages in the adventure games. We need to dig up 35 coins before reaching the end. You could tell it was going to be a bad one because we have 2 minutes and 40 seconds to do it. Sometimes you might dig up 3 coins, maybe 2, maybe 1. Maybe you'll get real lucky and dig up 5. Or 4. It's not really about luck either. Usually the better, higher quantity of coins are found on higher pathways. If you were to die at some point in this stage, you would respawn at the checkpoint with the amount of coins you had at that point. I just thought I would mention that. Well, luckily I'm going to respawn and Then I cut back to here, I guess. I didn't make you sit through that, don't worry. I respawned at that checkpoint with 16 coins. Got back to 21. There sure are a lot of clocks in this stage. I guess that's a good thing, but that also means that technically I'm in this stage for even longer than it says. And I would really rather not be. These are the last tokens I will need to collect, so hopefully I will just be busting my way to the goal. You also have this very annoying beeping going on the entire time. You can finally be rid of that. And there we go. Sky Sanctuary is fully restored. Still pretty white, but that's just what it looks like. And Knuckles. What was it gonna be like when you talked to classic Sonic?
Thanks, Sonic. Now then, tell me, where is the rest of my island?
It's in my belly. And with that, the classic era challenges are officially done. You may have noticed this pinball table. That was the pre-order bonus for the original version of Sonic Generations. We'll deal with that another time. Next, we'll have this boss gate, all 3 keys. I can recognize this music anywhere. We'll open this gate and collect that Chaos Emerald. I'll see you then. Goodbye.